special show. I'm Varnika Mehta and we are here at National Young Authors Fair to celebrate the achievement of writers of very young age. This event is a celebration of a very long creative journey where BriBooks have partnered with around 3,000 schools, from which 1 lakh students have come up with a range of astonishing ideas. Some of these kids are already published authors, while some of them have published their very first book. Let's dive in and see the event in action.
You have to understand that books also have a very special thing to them. They never die. They last forever. Every book that you wrote, every book that you printed will always be there. When you have this ability, you are unstoppable. So for me, storytelling, the ability to convert your dreams into stories, into reality, that's what life is all about.
The National Young Authors Fair has given an opportunity to young writers to experience the creative journey of writing a book. We have with us Amit Dror, the founder and CEO of BriBooks. Hi, Mr. Dror. So tell us, what is it like getting so many children on board and encouraging them to, write books and to get those books across so many people?
So, being a storyteller is probably the most important skills one can have. I am personally an entrepreneur and an educator. And I know that for entrepreneurs specifically, if they don't know how to tell their story, they're kind of useless. So I always wanted every child to be able to tell their story very fast. Now, naturally, the Young Author Fair is a huge event. We have 100,000 authors participating. But I'm trying to look at each one of them personally and to see the story of the child, the 7-year-old that wrote a story for the first time. And then, this child suddenly have customers that buying the book in Australia, in the United States, in Israel. The empowerment, the feeling that your brain, your imagination, you can transform it into a story that has value, that people want to know what you have to say. This is, for me, the entire reason for the existence of BriBooks.
It's not only the creative mettle of the young authors that we're celebrating today, but also their entrepreneurial skills which help them to promote their books, allowing some authors to sell more than 1,000 copies in a single month. Let's take a look at the best-selling young authors.
The most popular author of India award goes to Dere Sudarshan for his book Savvy Our Savior. The best entrepreneur author award goes to Kiya Hatkar for her book Dancing on My Wheels. The popular author in India award goes to Shipra Morekar for her book Learning from the Jungle. The popular young author award of India goes to Rudrang Goenka for his book The Rise of the Great Insane. The popular young author of India award goes to Subhashi Bharati for her book My Talking Cat. The popular young author of India award goes to Ruhi Sharma for her book Memories, Miracles, Magic. The popular young author of India award goes to Hiyansh Joshi for his book The Rescue Rablets. The popular young author of India award goes to Tanya Boya for her book The Journey. The popular young author of India award goes to Twarita Guliani for her book Princess of Beauty Island.
with us Dhairya Mukesh Sudarshan, whose book Savvy Our Savior was one of the best-selling titles at the fair. So, Dhairya, tell us, you love fiction and you love superheroes. So, what prompted you to write this story?
Yes, I like fiction and superheroes, but I read many other books about how the environment is getting affected. That's what inspired me to write this story.
And did you face any challenges?
Yes, the challenges were for me. It was typing the story, and it was finding the pictures for the story and putting my imagination into words.
So, Kia, tell us, what was the journey like? And this book is based on your story. So, how do you aspire to live a limitless life?
So my book is about a single mom and her two daughters, Rose and Daisy. Rose, who's a wheelchair-bound child like me, she grows up to be a well-known ballet dancer and a social influencer. She works with the government to make her society a more inclusive place for people with all kinds of disabilities.
And tell us a bit about the journey while you were writing this book.
So I had started writing my book after my spine surgery. Well, it was a bit hard because as I was just recovering from my spine surgery, so it was like painkillers made me groggy. Then sitting for too long, that made my back pain. So it was tough, but it was a fun experience.
Chitra, tell us, you've taken part in climate change marathons and you work actively for wildlife preservation. So, what prompted you to write this book? Was it your love for nature?
Yes, my love for nature, and also I have a class every Sunday at 11 o'clock and I talk to Down syndrome people and we listen to stories. So that's what inspired me.
Shubhashri, we know you love reading horror and comedy. So how did you come up with this book, and how did it feel when your book got such a great response?
The inspiration for the girl was basically myself, because I'm sort of like the girl who wants the cat, and I also get like really shocked, emotional and such stuff. And I also felt really happy with because like so many people supported me and so many people got my copies, and it just felt like a really wonderful experience. And I was really excited when I found out that I'm supposed to come to Delhi, and I was like, oh my god, I have to come to Delhi finally.
So Ruhi, this book is about your experience of Christmas over the last 6 years. So tell us about those experiences which prompted you to write this book.
My Christmas memories have some memories, and some years of Christmas have a little bit of faith loss in me when I was young. But then my parents and my family guided me that don't lose faith and have patience. Half of my book is real in my Christmas memories. It's not a fiction. So I used to say that please come Santa, because that made me happy. Now I say please make others happy, please become a secret Santa for them.
Tanya, the two characters in your book are Ram and Sita. And for those who haven't read your book, can you tell us if you've drawn some inspiration from the Ramayana?
It's not from the Ramayana, but mine is a social book. So, nowadays that we are reading in the newspapers or we are seeing on movies that there's a human trafficking case or there's a girl trafficking case. And we see in the movies that heroes come and they like save the children. But in my story, it's not like that. The girl herself, named Rupa, she saves herself from a gang who kidnaps her in a train where she is going to Kasi. And mostly children don't have happy endings where they have been taken. But in my story, we have a happy ending where she is again with her parents.
Priyansh, tell us about the names of the characters in your book, Funny and Bunny. Tell us about them. How did you come up with these names?
When I was writing the book, I thought the rhyming words would
look funny, so that's why I wrote Sunny, Bunny, Gunny and Funny.
So these were the best-selling authors. But there are titles which are going to be recognized based on merit by a special jury. Find out who they are as we come right back after a short break. Welcome back. We saw the best-selling authors, and we're sure the jury must have had a tough time picking out authors whose books really stood out. And the themes were so diverse, from horror to biography, sci-fi, and even self-help. So let's take a look at all the special jury awards.
Nothing compares the happiness of our achievements better than being acknowledged for our efforts. It's now time for the jury awards for the young authors. The Jury Choice Award for the best book goes to Tara Kumar for her book, The Dead, Alive and in Between. The Best Storyteller Award goes to Advaik Yambalada for his book Lessons from Animal Kingdom. The Most Creative Book Award goes to Utsa Banerjee for her book Ricky and Her Dream. The Most Innovative Book Award goes to Twarita Guliani for her book Princess of Beauty Island.
You know, we've read about you, and we read that you love traveling and you love exploring. So tell us, did you find the idea of writing this book while you were traveling? Where did you get the idea of writing a book on this theme?
It all started when one evening I read a book that was kept on the table. It was very simple and easy to understand. I thought I should also write some books that will be helpful on life lessons that will be helpful for the people of my country can read it, and hope it will be useful to them.
So Tara, tell us, you won the jury award. How does it feel to be winning the jury award? Because you know they've picked out books that really stood out, and how does it feel that your book really stood out amongst all? And tell us a bit about the writing of this book. Like, what was the journey like?
Alright, so winning this award, obviously I understand that it's a big deal, and I'm very grateful obviously to have been given first of all such a platform to even get my idea out and get recognized by so many esteemed people and people that can only help me further my journey as a writer. So obviously I know the gravity of this award and how important it is, but obviously I'm so extremely grateful to everyone and everything that got me here. For instance, my parents, my friends and people who bought and read my book and supported me. So I'm very proud of myself.
I've written this book, Ricky and Her Dream, and it's about a girl, and she is 7-year-old and she dreams about being a fairy. And she fancies being a fairy, she dresses up like a fairy, she wants to have the wings of a fairy, and she wants to have different magical powers of a fairy. And in this book, she realizes that her goal or dream, it's not so important to have the magical powers and the wings of a fairy. It's important to have the attitude of a fairy and make a difference in the world, like acting like a fairy. And it's good. And there is a magical dream that she has where she realizes that.
Oh, that's amazing. How do you feel the jury has selected your book for the special jury award?
I feel really happy, and I also feel grateful to the jury for giving me this award. And it motivates me to write even more creative books. And thanks a lot to BriBooks for giving me this opportunity. I feel very happy for the awards, And so basically, me and my parents sat together and discussed about the book, how we can write. And I sat in front of the computer 1 hour and I wrote 3 pages per day. And if I get another opportunity to write a book in BriBooks, I would love it.
Would you like to give a message to the young authors, who are also, still in the process of writing, and, sometimes people feel very nervous when they're writing their first book. So if you'd like to give them a message.
Observe things around us, analyze them, understand them, and put them in words and write them.
Values of reading and writing are taught early in a child's growing years, and the role of parents, schools, and teachers plays a critical role when imparting these skills in children. Today, BriBooks is honoring some of the partner schools who have also participated in this fair.
So the first award goes to Pathways School Noida for the best school in India. 21K School for the most innovative school in India. Srimati Sulochna Devi Singhania School for the best school in Maharashtra. Greenwood High International School for the best school in Karnataka. Venkateshwar International School Dwarka for the best school in Delhi. Alpha School CBSE CIT Nagar for the best school in Tamil Nadu. Sai International School for the best school in Odisha. Pathways School Gurgaon for the best school in Haryana. Little Angels High School for the best school in Madhya Pradesh.
Ma'am, in your opinion, what is the school's role in creating an environment for children who want to read and write, and maybe who can express themselves through words?
Yeah, so the school has a big role to play in this, to push for reading, to push for writing, and to give platform for the children, the students, the learners, whereby they can express themselves, they can express their ideas, their stories, and their perspectives, their opinions. So the school has a major part to play, even in the classrooms, right down till the classroom, the environment that's conducive to telling stories, respecting their ideas, and giving student agency, to the children to come up and become self-directed learners, self-directed storytellers. So that's the great role the school plays, and also admires it in children, and gives them all the go ahead with this.
Well, language, as you know, is important across all subjects, all fields, anywhere you go. Language is important. So how do you look at developing the basic skills of language? Reading is one of the most important strategies that we would develop in students. Now, as a school, of course, we know that today's generation, when you look at tech, it is an organic kind of, bent where they would prefer to sit on their devices than to pick a book. And it is very, very challenging for us today as educators to innovate and come up with strategies that steer the students towards understanding the importance of books. And we have to innovate all the time to ensure that through activity-based teaching learning, so that students are constantly involved in understanding the outcomes, of a good story, and where you look at building their imagination, where we look at them organizing their thoughts. So all of these are very important today when you are looking at enabling children with the skills to write stories, to be able to write and to extend their imagination beyond just their world. look at the budding authors. What is even more interesting than them writing is look at the ideas they are coming up with. I mean, the sky is not even the limit today when you look at them. Everybody wants to meet aliens and bring them into their homes. And that is just so interesting, where the children are, I just was talking to a child who said that I love my dreams and I just wanted to write about my dreams. How beautiful is that when you look at a time where it is not that people did not dream, but today the children are having the courage to actually write about their dreams, to innovate, when it comes to articulating, when it comes to expressing their emotions. They're fearless.
Through the National Young Authors Fair, we got to witness how some of the greatest ideas can come from the youngest of voices. And it's really uplifting to see all these young writers here put across their stories to the world with just the power of words. We hope many more young writers are inspired by this event to put across their stories and inspire the world. This is your host Varnika Mehta. Thank you for joining us.